Imagine a world where the laws of physics seem like mere advice, and the planet itself breathes and watches over you. Planet Crone J5, a stopover on the way to the mysterious 666X, hides neon jungles, intelligent beings, and mysteries that could change destinies. An expedition that began as a rescue mission turns into a dangerous and exciting adventure, where betrayal, friendship, love, and discovery intertwine with mysterious signals and unknown dangers. Can the team unravel the mystery of the Heliot 131 signal and resist the charms of the unknown? Welcome to a story that will captivate you from the very first seconds. Hello, friends! There are worlds in the universe that don't appear on any star navigator's map. Planet Crone J5, located on the way to their final destination, Planet 666X, is just such a world. The story that began as a rescue expedition of daredevils to Planet 666X will turn into a far more daring and intriguing journey. A planet with neon jungles and living secrets, creatures whose gazes outshine any human, and mysteries that defy the laws of physics await them. Here, every step is fraught with danger, and a chance encounter can change fate. Betrayals and unexpected friendships, intrigues and investigations, discoveries that will shake hearts, and romantic stories that will flare up amid cosmic storms await them. This adventure knows no age limits. It calls on all who are ready to take risks and discover new worlds. Before we continue, please like and share. Subscribe. The next videos will feature even more intriguing details about this journey, and don't forget to leave your impressions at the end. So, here we go. Secrets and Intrigues of Planet 666X, Part 1, The Beginning of the Journey. Prologue. Distress signal. 7 short pulses, then a long hum and silence. This signal was picked up by the receivers of the Ogenus station on the outskirts of the Lyra system. It emanated from the distant, little-known planet 666X, a world about which the archives only stated, atmosphere unstable, life possible. A year ago, the scientific expedition Heliot 11 departed there. All communications were lost, but the last data packets contained a report of a collision with the unknown. When the distress signal was repeated, the Council decided a rescue mission was needed. Chapter 1. The team heading to Planet 666X. Artemis, a 30-year-old commander, astrophysicist, and experienced pilot, a thrill-seeker. Behind the thin frames of his glasses hid a mind accustomed to cold calculations and sudden decisions. Lysandra, a 27-year-old flight engineer with dark hair and a gaze that pierced the darkness of space, is Artemis's right hand. Graven, a 45-year-old geologist with a thin beard and a perpetual grin, could find his way even through stone. Junior. Mira, a linguist and a very serious lefty, capable of deciphering any code and achieving any goal. Alara, a blonde biologist, sensitive to every spark of life, loves to joke, and can find common ground with anyone. Kai, a talented technician and young pilot. Bold and precise, though sometimes he can be unbearable. Surzan is a cyberneticist for whom space was a chessboard, a great lover of everything unknown and unexplored. 7 different hearts, but one goal: to find traces of Heliot 131 and solve the mystery of the signal, and finally find out what happened to the expedition? Chapter 2. Launch from Elysium. Their ship, the interstellar liner Elysium, was a masterpiece of cutting-edge technology, a biomechanical hull, self-healing panels, a gravity dome. As the launch computer's countdown reached 0, the sky of Arcadia trembled. The flames of the engines cut through the darkness, carrying the crew toward the unknown. The hours of flight passed in silence. Artemis monitored the trajectory, Lysandra checked the systems, and the younger ones, pressed against the windows, watched as their world shrank to a flickering point. Chapter 3. Shadow Planet. Intermediate target, Crone J5, 666X's closest neighbor. It was obscured by a network of toxic clouds, and ancient satellite images revealed strange geometric structures. Better to check everything here than to blindly land on 666X, Artemis said as the Elysium emerged from hyperspace. Vast dark plateaus, intersected by lines like giant writing, flickered on the screens. Chapter 4. The Living Garden of Chrone J5. Landing on Chrone 5 revealed a world both frighteningly familiar and alien. The atmosphere was humid and thick, as if filled with the planet's own breath. The soil felt springy underfoot, and around them, trees stretched skyward, like tropical trees, but their bark emitted a soft neon glow, green, purple, amber. Leaves they sparkled like precious stones, and shimmering pollen flowed with every drop of dew. Mira whispered faintly. "It's as if we're walking in a dream." Graven ran his fingers along the glowing trunk. "The humidity here is twice as high as on Earth. The plant growth is incredible. As if the planet itself had decided to show off its power." From the depths of the forest came a measured hum, as if an invisible choir were greeting the guests. Chapter 5. Feathered and Strange Beasts. As Elysium descended toward the surface, the crew expected to see bleak landscapes and traces of a disaster. Instead, a vibrant world spread out before them, seeming simultaneously familiar and imaginary. Overhead, in the upper atmosphere, those enormous, transparent stingrays still floated, calm as clouds. But closer to the surface, they were greeted by the planet's inhabitants. The first to appear was a herd of large herbivorous creatures, a hybrid of deer silhouettes and bizarre jellyfish, massive bodies, long, slender legs, and translucent mantle-like plates hanging from their sides, gently fluttering and glowing with a cold blue light. They moved leisurely, chewing on long, glittering leaves, their breath raising tiny fountains of glowing dust. Higher, in the crowns of giant neon trees, perched birds with stained glass wings. Each flap revealed a complex pattern, and light passed through feathers, scattering gold and ruby. As they soared, their flight sounded like a soft bell, not wings, but music. Alara made an excited noise, scrolling through her tablet. "I've never seen anything like it. Their feathers contain microstructures that refract light, they're like living prisms." The small creatures scurried along the ground, resembling a hybrid of a hare and a mirror lizard. Their eyes were like those of mammals, and their skin was reflective, changing hue according to the animal's mood. They didn't run away at the sight of people, rather, they studied them, slightly raising their heads, approaching with curiosity. Kai and Surzan led the way, scattering synthetic beacons and recording behavioral patterns. Mira recorded the sounds on a spectrogram. In the surrounding hum, rhythms were audible that weren't in their databases, subtle vibrations, like the local heartbeats of vegetation and animals simultaneously. On foot, the walk lasted several hours. The team walked through the glowing thickets, taking leaf and soil samples, photographing the patterns on the birds' wings. Graven carefully examined the tracks, marveling at the density of the roots and how the soil absorbed moisture. Lysandra monitored the ship's systems through a portable terminal, but she couldn't hide her smile. The world was strange, but not hostile. By evening, having collected the data and feeling tired after the spaceflight and the initial inspection, Artemis held a short meeting. He saw that the team was excited but exhausted, and several factors could influence the decision: problems after the approach, the need to further analyze the distress signal, and the risk of a hasty landing on the target. "We're in no hurry," he said. "There are enough resources here to conduct reconnaissance and recover. We'll stop for a few days. We'll establish a base, analyze the samples, and listen for the signal again. If this is an invitation, let it find us prepared." The decision was made unanimously. They chose a small ravine at the edge of the forest, where a weak hot water spring flowed, and set up a temporary camp. Surzan set up a sensor network, Kai secured a drone landing pad, Lysandra checked supplies and repaired minor glitches in the life support system. For the night, they took a shift schedule, 2 on duty, the rest slept, but everyone felt it was a rest with an eye on action, a pause before what might begin deeper in the heart of the planet. Epilogue. The night before the decision. The night on Chrone 5 and on the outskirts of Pure Tal 666X was different, not silent, but filled with soft sounds. The rustling of glowing leaves, the distant singing of stained glass birds, the quiet gurgling of a spring. By the fire of the makeshift station, the team looked tired but calm. Mira worked with the signal recordings, they became clearer, the rhythm in some ranges slowed slightly, as if someone had set the tempo and was waiting for a response. Lysandra and Graven discussed the chemical composition of the samples. The soil has energy storage capacity, plants accumulate electrical potentials, perhaps the ecosystem itself produces the signals. Alara spoke dreamily about the prospects of discovering a new life form. Kai argued with Surzan about the best way to place the sensors. Artemis stood a little to the side, peering at the dark horizon where the first lights flickered, either distant or artificial. He understood that the pause was correct. A hasty landing could destroy what still needed to be saved, or draw the crew into a trap they wouldn't notice from the ship. But he had no illusions. Every day of delay increased the risk that the signal would cease to be an answer and become a fading echo of the past. The next morning, they began their systematic work, long-term monitoring setups, ecological biotest tubes, and nighttime drone deployments. Their goal remained the same: find Heliot 131 and understand who or what sent the cry for help into the world. But now they had another feeling: respect for the world that welcomed their guests with ease and opportunity. They remained on the threshold, ready for action, but not rushing blindly into the unknown. We look forward to your thoughts on the video and feedback on what you've heard. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more. Thanks in advance.